Welcome, beloved Sangha, to our Serkhangma Commentary by our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We'll begin the commentary teachings today in our yellow Garchen Buddhist Institute prayer book on page 4 and 5 with opening prayers. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Tangwe doje jajere zandro jenja mada doja panjang ba serje lumbo tabara jibe ge shaje jarbo jabde ge zanzar tangwe dorje jenja de lo naro ta mabamala chuje gambo pamo drba jawan drgong ba kaju lama namje da jonje Tanana Zera Damje de Lama Lava Laya Jiso Losum Yundi Jamsu Ngala and Dendre Don Gender Begale Zor Dage Lo Jison Rovers in Jail of those or Lamdan Rovers in Jail of those Lam Drova Zevras in Jail of those or Drova Issues and Javras in Jail of those or Kange Tinjin to Warjong Gapa me ba che ba me ba ta me ba Wa me bandro me ba ta de to me donje me juba nye je je den ba zo pe san je ma nan je tam ba de lo jan zar de ren za va la ma je je ko zong do Jilan da ge jilan be da ge den ba dan sun je je dong jia jin ban de par sun je lao de zor Grant your blessings so that my mind may be one with the Dharma. Grant your blessings so that the Dharma may progress along the path. Grant your blessings so that the path may clarify confusion. Grant your blessing so that I may transform confusion into wisdom. Many Tashtile der Sangha, and today we are continuously teach on Golden Temple or Serkhangma Commentary. So we are already on the branch of prostration. So we discussed on there most of them, and today we will discuss about the benefit of prostration. There are many benefits. Of prostration. So among them, I will introduce you 10 benefits. The 10 benefits of Pay Homage are as follows. Number 1, attaining a sound body that is beautiful to look at, well functioning and strong. If you do one prostration, this is related your karma. So karma is related over action of a body and speech and mind. So when you do one prostration, then that term usually we say exercise, right? Exercise. So it progress your health, good health, and also not only progress your health, but it also progress your what is called purifies your obscurations of body. When purify obscurations of your body, and then your body and your channels are have relation. Your channels and your mind winds have relation. Your winds and your mind has relation. Your mind and your awareness, Rigpa, our primordial awareness, have relation. That's why when you purifying obscurations of body, then your mind easily can see the Yidam deities on your bodies, and also pretty easy to reduce self-grasping on your body. And then second, possessing in auspicious radiance that manifest one's good qualities. Number 3, possessing good speech that is understood and heeded by all and accepted as true and meaningful. Then number 4, naturally being liked by others. They will naturally want it to be in one's presence. If you are born as a human, even divine beings happily gather around you. Number 5, racing to the top in every society or group one is associated with. One will outshine others. Number 6, being welcomed into the company of the arhats. Number 7, having a dominant and auspicious presence among others. Number 8, readily coming into possession of whatever resource are needed. And number 9, attaining fortunate rebirths. And number 10, being able to attain liberation. There are three types of Pay Homage. The highest type is non-objectified or non-dual homage. This should be understood as the Mahamudra type of homage that is not tainted by the faults of objectification or differentiation into the three spheres of doer, deed, and object. In this case, the doer would be oneself. The deed would be the homage, and the object would be the guru. This is what Lord Jigten Sunggu meant when he defined this as the highest or best type of homage. If one objectifies or reifies these three, then one has created object, subject, object, determine that prevents one from engaging in this highest type of homage. There can be no objectification or discrimination in that state of mind. This natural way of paying homage that does not involve any effort or artificiality is the highest way to honor and bow down to the Buddha. Such a prostration is beyond thought and is ineffable. The second of the three types of homage is the middle level. It is called the Emanation Homage. And it occurs when one visualizes or emanates others to join the practice of paying homage. Visualize the object of veneration, the undifferentiated guru in the sky, surrounded by the fivefold assembly of the merit field. Then visualize one's enemies taking a place of honor in front, one's parents on in either side, and all other sentient beings without exception behind. This whole gathering joins together and bows down to the Guru and the assembled merit field. To make this more effective, it is necessary to pay homage, not just the one Buddha, but to realize, as described above, that on each particle there are as many Buddhas as there are particles in the entire universe, each one residing in the center of a great assembly of enlightened beings. Oneself alone with the surrounding enemies, parents, and all of the others pays homage to each and every one of these Buddhas. As one bows down, one takes refuge in and says words of praise to each one. To make this yet more effective, do not say these words of refuge and praise with just one mouth. Visualize that one has innumerable bodies, and that each one is praising the Buddhas. Even then, it is not enough to have just one tongue in each mouth. Visualize that each mouth has innumerable tongues, with each one saying innumerable praise. Practice the emanation homage in this manner. The third type of homage is the ordinary act of knowing down with one's single body and with one's thoughts mixed up with mundane thoughts of everyday activities. Especially during the prostrations, one looks around and gives rise to afflictive emotions. Also, one does not dedicate before thoughts and afflictive emotions interrupt your mind. This is the lowest type of paying homage. There is still some benefit, but it's interrupted and not as strong. In brief, the nature of the Buddhas of the three times, indivisible from the four kayas, has never separated from the Buddha's body, speech, mind, qualities, and activities. This is our own natural state of mind, and the mind of the Guru Vajradhara. We prostrate to it through the ultimate level. This is Mahamudra. So Lord Jigten Sungkun said, we wish to attain the state of the perfect Buddha. So we have to engage through four pure auspicious interdependence. The first is the aspiration in our mind to attain supreme Buddhahood. The second is the Guru. Third, the way to engage with the Guru is these 7 branches. Fourth, what occurs from that is the qualities of the Guru's body, speech, and mind. According to the Suttarayana, prostration are the antidote to pride. Pride is one of 6 root afflictive emotions. The definition of pride is a mind that is filled with arrogance. The union of the sun and the moon, Tantara says, pride is have a deluded view. That means, for example, believing that one's wrong view is the best view. It has 7 aspects. First is thinking that one is equal to those who have rich and good knowledge or merit. Second, one thinks of oneself as better than others. Third is thinking others are great. I am too. Fourth is thinking the 5 aggregates are I or self. Fifth is believing that one has attained higher realization and experiences, even thought one has not really attained them. Sixth is even though one has not really attained them. Sixth is believing that one is only a little bit lower than higher masters. Seventh is, for example, practicing mistakenly, but believing that one has attained something great and being filled to the brim. I can say a little bit about the benefits of prostration. When we join our hands together at the crown, it purifies non-virtues of a body. Because the imprinting of our body is area of our crown, because when our body establish, its related parents drop, especially father's tigli. So usually this is an area of our crown. We call it usually we call it the forehead. Anyhow, we have this imprint of our body, and then from this imprint of this body combined with self-grasping, and then slowly it will grow. So then we become samsaric being. So when we join our hands together at the crown, then it will purifies non-virtues of our body. But let you know, I say it will it purifies non-virtues of body. Actually, it is depending how you practice. Only through your faith, you join your hand, but still you have a dualistic perception. Still you have mundane thoughts. So it will help you to powerless. I mean, this imprinting of body is almost it cannot completely melt, but it makes warm. But still we say it purifies non-virtue. So we always have to know. Sometimes if we know about that, then we are not confused about karma. Because in the Dharma where it says it will purify, it will clarify something, and you think suddenly it will purify, but it is not happened, and then you later upside and something happened. But if you have combined with the non-duality, definitely it will purify completely the non-virtues. So, however, according to the karmic system, there are different steps. Step by step we have to purify. If we understand that, then we are more trust in karma, and then our actions combine with the karma, or to say realization of karma. So this is important. And then when we join our hands together at the throat, it purifies non-virtues of speech. So purifies non-virtues of speech. What is non-virtues of speech? So these non-virtues of speech is actually, if we have non-virtues of speech, what happens is someone using some harsh words, it affects to us. That means we have imprinting of the non-virtues of speech. Someone says little good things, we are happy. So that's where it means we couldn't be as a mountain rock. If we are being as a mountain rock, then people say good things, we can hear it. So mountain rock replied, echo, right? Echo. What we say, it will replied. That means they heard it. But they have no dualistic. They don't have identification. They will not grasp it, so it cannot affect. If you say some harsh word, mountain rock cannot broke. So that's why the main thing is that, and also the imprint of speech. So all other beings, they all have grasping. So for that reason, they are in the samsara. So we can take care when we speak others, other people, other animals. Actually, the way of your speaking tells a lot about what is your mind. What about your mind? We say there's in English, sometimes the action says louder than what is speaking, right? Louder than actions. Actions speaking louder than words, right? So the action means not always action of a body and action of the speech. but action of mind, I don't know if I use action of mind is correct or not. However, so your speaking comes from mind. So we already discussed on there. Basically, all the speaking, speech or speaking, all the speech come from mind. Sorry, a syllable. But then all this speech come from a syllable. But we research where comes from this a syllable. A syllable is we cannot say it come from here and there and here and there. That means a syllable is the emptiness. In the Manjushri Namasangiti, it says, A is the excellent word among the other words. There's no way to tell, no way to say it comes from there and here. That means it comes from emptiness. So it comes from navel space, below the navel space. However, it comes from Dharmakaya space. So, but then it is combined with afflictive or karmic wind. So then the harsh words coming and opposite of polite comes. So if your mind is pure, for example, when we see our guru, we spontaneously speak politely. We act respectfully. So that means we see guru's quality. But we cannot see with the friend's quality, we cannot see the thinking beings' qualities. For example, if I use polite birds, maybe people will laugh. Maybe we will laugh it. For example, I using politely, I spoke politely to a dog. Maybe some laugh. So in reality, if we can see the Buddha nature on dog, if we can see bodhicitta on dog, then why we cannot speak politely to the dog? We often said the external environment are mandala and internal living beings are ndakas and dakinis. So that's where the main thing is what we see. Our mind is very important. So we have to purify. The son of purifying of the non-virtues of speech is when people using some harsh word and negative words, how much effect it to you. If you less effect, that means you are purifying the non-virtues of speech. And when you speak other people and other beings, at that time, how much you nicely, respectfully can speak, that means you are in mindfulness. When you are in mindfulness, then you are a great practitioner. You are a great practitioner. That's where in the Gambopa said, non-distracted mind is path of all the Buddhas. If you have distracted, then there are many obstacles. And also Shanti Deva said, if your mind is distracted, then you are on the on the fence. You are on the fence of the afflictive emotion. Then ready to bite. So we are like a very small mosquito. If there is a mosquito on my fan, I have a pretty sharp fan. So here is a mosquito, and then if I bite it, immediately I can kill it. So our mind is basically Buddha nature, but right now it is combined with egoistic mind. So at that moment, still we are distracted with afflictive emotions, and then these afflictive emotions easily challenge to us, easily conquer us, easily destroy to us. So always be mindful. Always be mindful. As much as actually traditionally there is a way to speak. For example, we respectfully speak with the guru and sangha, and there is in the Tibetan grammar there is a different way to call. For example, jie, jie. For example, Emma Ho is also calling words. That's wonderful or something. But usually, jie means we call to the call to the higher kind of practitioners. Ge is jie and ge different. Ge is like a between, is equal, like a dharma friends between us. Ge. Y means call to the lower. In Tibetan grammar has these different words, but this part is in the our society in generally how to speak. Generally how to speak means it does not teach us you should say this that, but that means the people what use then they put into the book. So we don't need to particularly follow this part. We always call to jie. If we say jema, for example, in the red Chinese, they have jie or something like that. So jema is at that moment, it means we are we are falling into the sorrow, suffering, and then we call to the gurus, yadams, buddhas, and the dharma friends, please help me in this way. But jie means actually politely we call to the yadam deities. However, we always should be mindful. Mindfulness is a great practice. This ourselves can easily experience, really. Sometimes we using we speak with the friends and something. After sometimes we regret. Oh, I don't want to say that, but I said that. So that means actually we lose our mindfulness. So mindfulness is extremely important. If we can be mindful, then we have no obstacles. We will not make mistakes. But sometimes we lose mindfulness, but we should know the value of mindfulness. And Lord Jigten Sungkung said, if you are skillful, being mindful or mindfulness, and then you are a great meditator. So then the mindfulness is so important. However, when we join our hand together at in the area of our throat, it purifies non-virtues of speech. When we join our hands together in the area of the heart, it purifies non-virtues of mind. And then when we place our body on the ground, there are 5 branches. Those are the 2 hands, 2 knees, and the forehead. Placing these on the ground purifies the 5 afflictive emotions. So I will repeat briefly. So purifies 5 afflictive emotions. If you place these 5 branches on the ground, purifies the 5 afflictive emotions means it will purifies or not is your it's depending you. It depends you. But if you don't have a higher realization, still you do this prostration, it will make warm the ice of your egoistic mind. That means it's your ice of egoistic mind ready to melt in the ocean of the wisdom, primordial wisdom. So in the always we recite in the open prayer book, may I turn my 3 doors into virtue. So how to turn our body into the virtue is we should do prostrate. We should do join hand together, our hands together. And the best thing is when we join our hands together at area of our heart, we remember our Guru, Vajradhara. Or we remember or means Dharmakaya. And when we hold our hand area of throat, we try to remember Sambhogakaya or Dharma, qualities of Dharma, benefits of Dharma. So if you cannot think more about the qualities of Dharma, instantaneously remember bodhicitta and compassion. So bodhicitta and compassion are the like a match to burn the bliss. If you burn bliss, that means your bliss will grow. When we Chakasambhara practice, we say Pam, or Pam. That means it's burn. We burn our great bliss, and then we invited Yidam deities. If we burn, means sometimes we burn, for example, burn the pepper or something. That means we avoid them. But sometimes burn means it's like a fire flames, right? It's bigger, become bigger and bigger. So, however, if we have a bodhicitta, then we have what is called magnetizing. Then Yidam deity, it pulls Yidam deities to you. And then we have bliss. Then it's fastly, quickly, immediately, Yidam deities. You can pull Yidam deities. So we always say, oh, I practice Yidam deity for a long time, but even I don't have any good sign. This is also true. We will not enough. The practice. Enough practice means that if we don't know how to practice, then it's difficult to establish Yidam deities. This is not my own suggestion. This is my own suggestion, then you don't just listen right ear from right ear and let go it through your left ear. This is correct. But I have background that what is the Asanga, I think. Asanga in Nalinda Master is the brother of Abhidhamma Kosha. So he tried to see material Buddha for 12 years. He did retreat 3 years, nothing. Another 3 years, nothing. Another 3 years, nothing. Another 3 years. And then finally he arise great compassion, and then he see in Suttarayana where it is compassion. But in the Vajrayana way, however, this is the realization of the phenomena. And then Maitreya Buddha told him, I am always with you. And then I think we already discussed during the prostration refuge preliminary practice about Naropa and Telopa's relation. So Naropa saw like a dog and lots of ordinary things, but he couldn't see Telopa. He practiced great 12 undertaking hardships and another 24 hardships. Finally, he met Telopa, and then Telopa told her, oh, that dog was I, but you did not know me. So that's where the over how to say, if we arise compassion, right now in this is it's quite in simple way. Compassion means may I liberate all mother beings from suffering. This is compassion. May I create or cultivate bodhicitta for the sake of all mother thinking beings. Happiness. This is bodhicitta. But then this compassion, bodhicitta, develop in our mind, and slowly there will be union. And then they transform into bliss. So, compassion and bodhicitta are bliss. In generally, Dharma teaching, we say compassion and bodhicitta. In the Vajrayana way, they are bliss. Usually we say wisdom, but in the Vajrayana way, wisdom is clarity. So then this clarity and bliss union, then the Dharmakaya appear. Then Dharmakaya appears there, and it said, the Metipa had said, nothing is established in this as either meditation or not meditation. Self-liberation of appearances is the expanse of phenomena. Self-liberation of thoughts is Mahamudara. Non-dual equanimity is the truth body, following like the current of a great river. So, all the appearances are the Dharma Dhartu. When we understand all these appearances, then we will not deluded with them. If we deluded with them, then there's many good things, bad things, yes, no, something adopt, something reject. It's hard to establish, to adopt, hard to reject. So all of these problems occur from there. So that's why however, we have to turn our body, speech, and mind into virtue. As His Eminence Garchi Rinpoche often instructed to us that if we will turn and pray well, this is how we turn our body into the virtue. But if we, of course, we try as much as possible to do the using the prayer world, but it says a little funny. Now I'm not using it here. So, but at least when we have open prayer book, inside has some part has the time to join our hand. That means it signs prostration. And sometimes there's some mudara by our hands. At that time, we don't be lethargic. We don't be lazy. So we should try to be Dharma coach potato. Dharma coach potato, right? So we don't be television coach potato or something else. So we these the grasping and egoistic mind, ignorance, usually say since beginningless, we are in the samsara, but this is not endless. So Milarepa said, individually you have end of samsara. But then why in the Dharma says beginningless samsara, definition of samsara is beginningless and endless. In the majority, there are almost countless of sentient beings. But then why we call it countless? Because we can live only 100 years, or 10, or 20, or 30, maybe 50. That's all. If you count 150 years, these mother sentient beings, you cannot count. That's why we say it countless. Otherwise, these sentient beings whole mother sentient beings can liberate by 1,000 Buddhas. There is no need more than these Buddhas for or to liberate mother sentient beings. So they can liberate us. That's where one day this samsara will become emptied. If samsara will not become empty, then we pray and dedicate to say, may I empty the samsara. Then this is useless. So what Buddha taught is exactly what we can do. Buddha taught it. If we cannot do it, Buddha doesn't taught. Buddha did not taught on there. Buddha taught 84,000 different scriptures. Inside everything are possible things. And we can do if we do it. And also these are very reality. For instance, for me, for example, it says these outer phenomena are related 5 elements. 5 elements. These elements are every object has related these elements: fire elements, wind elements, earth elements, and then space element. So, for example, we have a being, green being or red being. They are round. Why? Because in the Buddha's teaching it says, it has water elements. It has more water elements. That's why the being is round. Something is not round, that has more fire elements. Something is like that. But then, Buddha said the being has beings are round. That means there are more water elements. But then sun and moon, they are also round. Sun probably about part of cool, so it's possible it's related with water elements. But then how can be the sun? I reflected many times on that. But I just say my what I thought. But then you also investigate more, reflect on that. Sun is also combined with the water element because it mother's drop, red drop. The moon is father's tigre, so that's why they have related that. However, in the relative way, they are part of liquid. So still, of course, we can think. However, sometimes, of course, we cannot. The one thing, this is if we bring the Sutrayana and Tantrayana. In the Sutrayana also has different layers, and the Vajrayana also have 4 more layers. And then there are the way of different explain about the old tradition of Vajrayana and the new tradition of Vajrayana. However, if we combine, bring them, and then ourselves, we later reflect on it. So then what we will understand is what Buddha taught are the very, how to say, he taught the reality things. Everything possible. Possible means if Buddha said everything emptiness, yeah, Buddha taught everything emptiness. No, you cannot bring any single thing, or this is not emptiness. If you can bring that any single object, or this is not emptiness, if you have proofly can introduce, or this is not emptiness, because of that, if you can bring it logically, then we can follow you. Just kidding. So kind of this way. Sometimes we little bit how to say, we reflect in the higher way. We can reflect in Buddha's teaching that Buddha already mentioned in his Sutra. Only sometimes when we meditate, when we have experience, we experientially meditate. At that moment, for example, sometimes we remain, even in the shamatha, we remain in our mind. At that moment, we don't want to reflect, we don't want to investigate. Sometimes there is like this way. And but still, sometimes we have, when my mind thoughts moved, just watch it. When my mind is remain relaxed, just watch it. That's all. Sometimes I have like that. But it does not mean always don't investigate Buddhism, Buddha Dharma, don't reflect on Buddha Dharma. Buddha did not say, he did. And he did what he experienced, or he gave us. He taught us. So here Buddha has a very strong confidence. Single thing cannot destroy Buddha's reason. I don't know how much I can clarify, but I'm not loyalty I am Buddhist. That's where Buddha said is perfect. I don't say that. That's where I mentioned to you, if you bring any single object proofly, that is not emptiness, then I follow you. That means half joke, but half true, because that means I'm not only loyalty, not blindly faith in Buddha Dharma, but I am still ordinary being. What I thought is right, I cannot say it. So I'm going to more learn, I'm going to more practice. We all same. So however, when we practice Buddha Dharma, sometimes we should know, is it true or not? And if it is true, how much it benefit us? That also we also allow. Oh, I'm practice this part, but it doesn't benefit to me. Then you being like economic, you don't make effort for that. So that's where it means according to our faculties, or according to our capacity of mind. Someone need only Sutrayana. Someone need only Vajrayana. Among the Vajrayana, someone need only like how to say, Kriya Tantra, Charya Tantra. someone need a higher yoga tantara, something like that. So that's where this we can prefer, but then slowly, for example, if I like Kriya Tantara, and then it is not wrong. Or I like Kriya Tantara, now I cannot practice Yoga Tantara, Anu Yoga, Anutara Yoga. For example, if I cannot practice it, it's okay. I practice Kriya Tantara and Saya Tantara, Tantara, and then slowly progress my practice. And then I will able to see the qualities of Anutara and Yoga Tantara, and then I will join there and then practice. So it is okay. However, so if we understand, even we join our hand area of our heart chakra, it makes a great merit. It could cultivate great merit, and when we have great merit, great merit is like a very good field. In the farmers, it's called a field, right? And then if you plant there rice or flowers or beans or your favorite fruits, it will grow. Same like, so merit is extremely important. And then when we join the hands together, okay, this we already mentioned, right? Are the so these five branches touch or place on the ground purifies the five afflictive emotions. Then the benefit of the hands joining together at the crown is that it is the cause to establish Buddha's body. It also same. You join in your hand at your crown. Its established means the imprint of our body. If we understand that is Buddha's body, so during the generation stage, it will purifies ordinary imprinting of our body, and its seed plants of Buddha's body. So also when we receive the vast empowerment, it also plants the seed of plants seed of Nirmanakaya. So how this relation is when morning we wake up, suddenly what happened? Occurs I and self. Oh, I. So then we purify this I. Then what happened? Then this we cannot print the samsaric imprint. Cannot. For example, there's a very hot stone. In this hot stone, we drop a water, small drop of water like a rain, single raindrop, right? Raindrop. Then the hot stone suddenly dries up. This dropping of water rain dropping. Similarly, if we have realization of selflessness, whether we think I, it immediately it's dry up this thought, dries up this thought. But we already have like a water, and then in this in this case, for example, that water, big water is like a big river or ocean is like a grasping, and then there drops rain. Until this ocean dries up, then this ring will remains there. Similarly, we already have imprinting of self-grasping in our body, and then we think, when we wake up morning, we think I, and then it makes great print. Great print means very strong, and it's then very difficult to purify. After then we think I'm going to eat breakfast, I'm going to do this, that, those. So that's where we should purify the imprint of grasping, and we should plant the Buddha's body. So then when we join our hands together at the throat, it will establish Buddha's speech. In the relative level, Buddha's speech are like mantras. I often told you that we have a language to communicate with the Yidam deities, which is a mantra. When we recite Mana mantra, we communicate with Avalokiteshvara. When we recite Amitabha mantra, we communicate with Amitabha. So when we recite Tara's mantra, we communicate with Tara. So that's where Buddha's speech, Yidam's speech are like this. Then Buddha's speech is we tells other people, even though we help someone ask where is, if there are some people who are, what is called, traveling to different places, and then they ask you where is which place is to where is goes, something like that. You kindly help them to speak nicely, politely. All of them are Buddha's speech. And then of course in the still relative level, pretty higher ways, when we teach the Dharma, this is Buddha's speech. So then we gain the realization of bliss, and then in this way whatever we say are Buddha's speech. And then the joining the hands at the heart establish Buddha's wisdom. So establish Buddha's mind wisdom means we will realize our nature state of mind. And when we realize our nature state of mind, then we will able to realize everything. So that's where Milarepa said, you don't search Buddha outside, but look at your mind. So then Gampopa said, how to look at our mind? Look at the ordinary mind. But then how to look at the ordinary mind means these ordinary thoughts, whatever thoughts, we just look it, watch it, which means don't follow it. If you are angry, you follow it means you use harsh word or destroy others, something like that. So don't do it, and just look. The best thing is in the higher way, we'll look at essence of them. Look at the essence of angry emotion. Then the angry emotion is like an ice, and essence of this angry emotion is wisdom like a mirror. That's where everything are clarity. So only we follow it is like angry emotion is like very like a judgment, grossly judgment. For example, someone wears very good clothes. Only we judge it through this clothes. We say, oh, this person is very rich, probably billionaire or trillionaire or something like that. We didn't know that background. because of that person wears pretty nice clothes. So perhaps this person rent these clothes. Perhaps that person steal that clothes. So if we go to that person's home, it's very possible very poor. Maybe there's no lunch or dinner. It's very possible. But someone also same like that. Someone wears very simple clothes. And only we judge about this judge according to that clothes. Oh, that person is very poor because of clothes. It's like we judge Malareba. He wears just a red cloth, and he has only one skin cushion, a skin with a fair hair or fair. So then stay in the cave. Then we say Malareba is poor, very poor. But if we communicate with the Malareba, then we know how much he is a rich person. He was rich. How he was rich? He was rich by 6 Paranja Parimitas. He was rich 5-fold of Mahamudra. He was rich 30 minor and 80 major marks and 60 melodious speech and 4 fairlies, realization, 18 special qualities of realizations. We still can communicate with the Malareba through the Malareba's songs. We must read the Malareba songs. Malareba songs are very, very special. 100,000 song. We should read it. Malareba song, what each sentence, it doesn't say other songs are a little different, instructions are different. It says something still there are more explained there. But Malareba's, each these stanzas tells outer, inner, secret, everything frankly. So there's no more explained. But only it says. So everybody understand. It is unique. Most of readers can understand. If you read it, you understand. If you expect you have to understand it deeper than something on there, perhaps pretty hard. Otherwise, we will understand. So we should read. And so angry emotions like that. When we see someone's faults, suddenly we judge, oh, that person is mystical. And then we see, we appear many mistakes and faults, and then we are angry. So if we look at essence of our angry emotion, number one, we will not see the faults on others. That number one. Number two, this angry emotion doesn't affect in our channels, in our body. So still it is a very clear. And then when we join our hand together at the throat, it was established Buddha speed, yeah. And then the joining the hand at the heart establish Buddha's wisdom, yeah. And then when we place the 5 branches of our body on the ground, it will establish the 5 wisdoms. So 5 wisdoms are essence of 5 afflictive emotions. So we have 5 afflictive emotions. If we have 5 afflictive emotions, then for sure we have 5 wisdoms. If we have 5 wisdoms, for sure we have 5 family Buddhas. If we have 5 family Buddhas, for sure we have Vairocana, and then we have Guru Vajradhara. When we have Guru Vajradhara, we have Dharmakaya. Then why we cannot attain Dharmakaya? So we have to know through this way. Afflictive emotions are just a surface, the outside. For example, if you have a barley, outside of barley has some, I don't know that name, it's covered husk. Yes, husk. Afflictive emotions are like a husk, so we cannot eat it probably. But sometimes we can eat them. That means the Vajrayana way, this taking 5 afflictive emotions in the path. So it's the same like that. So, but inside of this husk are barley. If we ground them, we can make zamba, we can make many nutrition food. So, okay. So, these 5 wisdoms are the essence of 5 afflictive emotions, and we should understand them. But we cannot understand them only through the studying. We well able to understand, but we should understand them experientially and knowingly understand them, experientially understand them. This is Buddha's way of system. Buddha has many 2 things: meditation and post-meditation. And omniscience also has 2 parts. Certainly I don't remember in English. It's called to understand, knowing the old phenomena and knowing the essence of all phenomena, probably that. However, it's 2 things. So, and then shamatha and vipassana, and generation stage and completion stage. They all including knowingly understand and experientially understand. That, and also they all include method and wisdom. So when we discussed the method and wisdom, probably during the mandala teaching, method and wisdom. Wisdom is your eyes, like your eyes, and method is your legs. So if you are going to the stage of Dharmakaya, you need legs and you need eyes to see it. Where is the Dharmakaya stage? You should see it by your wisdom eyes, and you should go there by your legs, which is our method. In the compassion, bodhicitta, and all these activities are including method. So, if we do this way, then right now we see some practitioners are. I bring one example. He's Emanation Rinpoche. He is 84 years old. How much happy and clear mind. That means that knowingly and experientially practice. So we have an example, really. Of course, there are many wonderful gurus, the examples. And Buddha himself, like this, if we read Buddha's life story, Buddha was very happily practitioner. And Buddha is very clear. Each word you in the future you focus Buddha's life story. He says each word has it explain like 10 directions. Which direction you stand up, you can invite this Buddha's teachings, each word. One day, I think it's Buddha's and another the Sangha, they discussed. He said, he asked Buddha, they sit in the near the river, big river, and then he asked Buddha, if one person would like to cross this river, but not go into the cross the river, and not only not go on the boat, but still wish to cross that river, how should you do? He says something like that. He asked, then Buddha replied that it seems like if we don't, however, we don't utilize method and wisdom, only we wish and pray to cross that river, then always remain one side, cannot cross that river. So when we practice shamatha and vipassana, we should practice both together. So now we are gradually step-by-step practitioners, so we cannot practice both at the same time. Of course, someone, but some may not. So then first we practice shamatha, and then we our mind becomes stabilization, and then we practice on vipassana. That means clarity. So then we already have a foundation of this stabilization or stability, and then we add clarity that makes a greatly benefit. So it will take time. Because to establish shamatha, at least 6 months or 8 months, it will take time. And then of course to establish clarity, it will take probably more than that. It's depending with the practitioners. I heard some practitioners practice shamatha 6 months they established. So, but only we practice shamatha with nothing to practice on vipassana, then we become like an indifferent. Indifferent means then nothing good happened, bad happened, just remain. Finally, we rebirth in the four formless realms. Then we think everything's are like a space, empty space. Empty space is endless, and then remain there for many thousands of years. And then one still karmic imprinting remains in our mind. So then this one day comes back in the samsara, and then same again we repeat. So now we should practice both. Basically, why we need shamatha, why that's not enough only by vipassana. That is, for example, if we try to understand the essence of this book, this book is emptiness, simplicity, and non-duality. This thinking is very fast, very kind of short stage on this book. For example, I think this book is emptiness, momentarily, and then other thoughts coming, interrupt, and perhaps my mind already goes away outside of this temple or somewhere. It's travel around the world. That means I don't have shamatha. So if I have very good shamatha, when I focus on this book is emptiness, then I can remain longer on my focus. I can focus in this book for longer. When I focus on this book for longer, at that time my mind is hazy, right? Fogginess or hazy or not, or dullness or not. This is very much related vipassana. Clearly, purely, if I can focus on that means I have a little bit realization of vipassana. So then can remain for can experience the experience of clarity for longer if I have a good realization on vipassana, and then I can experience for longer bliss. Then I can experience for longer non-perception. So like that. If not, that is I'm not sure 100%, but I just bring this example. If you are very cold in the winter because of winter weather, and then there's a big fire, you stay there for 5 minutes. You stay in front of that fire, and then after separate this fire, you are more cold, maybe more cold than before you see that fire. So similarly, if you have only clarity, you have little experience about clarity, you have now no shamatha, this experience, then probably you have this clarity. When you remain on this clarity, pretty okay, but right after, probably you are become very sensitive. You become very sensitive. If you become very sensitive, then other kind of obstacles more effect to you. It's very possible. In the Shantideva says, Zere chi la nupa mang. Zere chi means if you are very sensitive, then everything can affect to you. Everything destroyed to you. There's if you stand up, your head is touch on the ceiling, and you sit down, and your bottom is harmed by the cushion. So something like that. Then it's uncomfortable, really. So both. We need both. The shamatha and the vipassana, and that's where we have to. Actually, we study Buddhism and learn Buddhism and hearing Buddhism. Everything's are including the studying. So we don't see faults of studying. But gurus instruct us. If you have to higher realization, you don't want to learn. That is very true. Lungchenpa and many masters mentioned that. That's very true. But at that time, when we heard that, we should be a little bit joy, happy, because that means the Guru understand your level. Guru understood. Guru understood your level is now you are not only focused for study. If you focus on more kind of meditation and realization, you can go on this stage. That's where Guru tells us we should be happy. Otherwise, if you are not on these both levels, then if you heard or you don't want to study, then this is little misunderstanding. Then maybe you will understand you don't want to hear, you don't want to listen Dharma. If you don't want to listen Dharma, then how can you practice? Listening Dharma means not only kind of the part of intellectually, right? Listening Dharma means the path instruction, listening path instructions. This is also including listening the Dharma. And after you reflect on there and then meditate on there. only this is the best one. You have this perception. This is a little misunderstanding. It's according to your level. Sometimes listening Dharma is a priority for you, to you or for you. Sometimes reflecting on Dharma is very, very necessary for you. Sometimes meditating is very, very necessary for you. But in the Dzogpa Chenpo said, you search meditation through realization. That's why still there is another higher way. Only meditation is highest. Other things are not highest. If you think that, there is a view. But then this view is a correct view or wrong view. Who tells you that? Your study. Your study tells you clearly. That's why they all related to each others. These my 5 branches are related to my torso. My torso is related to these 5 branches. They are interdependent each others. So, which one is important is depending your level and it depending your way of practice. Otherwise, all of them are very important. And however, after we experience meditating, reflecting, and listening, finally we are going to utilize them to be liberate from ocean of samsara. The ocean of samsara is, usually we say samsara, suddenly we think outside. Actually, in Sanskrit, samsara, it does not mean the suffering. In literally, samsara means cycling, exist. So, if we follow ignorance, then there is what is called next I don't forget that the numbers 12 links of interdependence, right? So if you have ignorance and then one by one you follow them, and then it's continuously remain in the same samsara. However, these 12 links it's depending with the way of explain in the different lineages have slightly different way to explain about how related with 12 links of interdependence. Lord Jigten Sunggon said, in one life, all of these 12 links, probably establish in one life. So, however, since we are in the engaging these 12 links, then we are in samsara. But samsara don't point outside. We always say samsara, we found pointing outside, or we focus on outside. Perhaps we focus some countries, or perhaps we focus some locations. But samsara is in our mind. So we have a precious human life. This precious human life is in the samsara. At that moment, if we are boat in the ocean, and then there are many waves in this ocean, then this boat cannot go so peacefully or soothly or something. Same like that, we have many thoughts. Each and every thought are however, the samsara means done. Nirvana means bodhicitta. If you remain in ocean of bodhicitta, you are in nirvana. If you are in the shamatha, you are in the nirvana. So that's why in the Dharma teaching, nirvana has many nirvanas, many layers. Sharavika nirvana, Sharavika, right? Sharavika's nirvana, Praktika Buddha's nirvana, Bodhisattva's nirvana, something like that. So, however, nirvana means peaceful land or pure land. So, pure land is in our mind. Samsara is in our mind. 6 realms are in our mind. If our mind is combined with sorrow, then this is perhaps a hell realm, perhaps a hungry ghost realm, perhaps animal realms, perhaps other three higher realms. If our mind is in the Dharma, pure Dharma, then we are in Nirvana. So that's where Nagarjuna says, beyond the precious mind, there's no samsara and Nirvana, and no thinking beings and Buddha separately. Okay. According to the 7 pure actions, first is the object of visualization, second is offering. The root text starts with the branch of offerings. Oceans of emanated offerings to you delight the victorious ones and ripen all thinking beings, having completely filled the Dharma Dhartu. I make this unsurprised offering unceasingly. This root text of Golden Temple. The offering branch has general and specific offerings. To offer means to respectfully give. In this case, one should first visualize oneself as one's Yadam deity, such as Jagasamvara, Vajrayogini, Vajikilaya, and so forth. Any deity. One should visualize the offerings as pure, clean, and auspicious. The object of the offering is the Guru Vajradhara. The reason for making offerings is the benefit of all mother thinking beings. Our mother thinking beings are bound to the pillar of samsara by chains of self-grasping or grasping of phenomena. The practice of offering is very important for releasing them from these chains. As it says in Milarepa's mandala offering, through the power of offering the mandala, grant your blessings that all mother thinking beings may be purified of their grasping. We don't make offerings because they are needed by the Guru Vajradhara and the victorious ones. Through the power of offering, we can purify the afflictions of greed and clinging. Actually, it maintains greed. Greed actually comes from clinging. Clinging is the best friend of self-grasping, and it is strongly supported by ignorance. No matter how much we receive, if we have the habitual tendency of clinging, we are never satisfied. Clinging is difficult to recognize. It feels harmless and acceptable. This is what it means that it is supported by ignorance. When clinging arises, it's more difficult to recognize as harmful than is anger. For instance, when anger arises, it feels uncomfortable, and we want to abandon it. But when clinging arises, it can feel good, and we enjoy it. Then from clinging arises greed, and the result of greed is rebirth in the hungry ghost realm. Hungry ghost realm. The result of clinging is rebirth in the human realm. They both bind us in samsara. And however long we remain in samsara, our life is a vessel of suffering. Buddha's compassion and wisdom radiate many methods to liberate mother sentient beings from samsara. In particular, the Vajrayana has many methods and less hardship. This offering branch is a method to liberate us from samsara. We often recite the 7 branch practice, offer water bowls, and so forth. But here we have a chance to cover the offerings in more detail. There are 4 categories of offerings for worshipping the Buddha: outer, inner, secret, and ultimate. These can be summarized as ordinary and unsurpassed. The first 3 are ordinary, and the ultimate offerings are unsurpassed. Ordinary offerings are, for instance, jewels for the Buddha's crown, pearls for his necklace, turquoise for his earrings, coral for his chest, gold for his armbands, silver for his wrist bracelets, diamonds for his finger rings. From the east, sun and moonlight for his eyes. From the south, sandalwood for his nose. From the west, brilliant colors and shapes of clouds at sunset, eyes from the North Snow Mountains, his mind. These are altar offerings. So when we travel to different places, if we have Dharma knowledge and then we have mindfulness, we immediately can offer them to the Yadams and Guru Vajradhara and Buddhas. And we can greatly accumulate great merit according to this altar environment. If we don't have them, then just we utilize them to make strong our grasping. Oh, there's a beautiful mountain. There are beautiful flowers. There is a nice and clean river, and then we attached them, and then slowly we try to belong them. So this is the when we see this beautiful environment, we always should offer. Best thing is we recite the offering prayers. Whether we remember longer or shorter, doesn't matter. We offer. Sometimes we recite, sometimes mentally recite them, like a mental recitation, and we offer them. And then when we offer them, there are why there are many benefits when we offer as mandala offering. Because, for example, you see a beautiful wild flower, you offer this to Buddhas, you gain great merit because you remember Buddhas at that moment, right? Usually we remember only Buddhas. But at that time, you offer, that means you reduce your greed. So when you reduce your greed, that means you conquer a friend of clinging. If you conquer a friend of clinging, then grasping has it lose power of egoistic mind. When you make it lose power of egoistic mind, then you destroy to the ignorance. Ignorance is a very strong kind of a kingdom of samsara, right? So you start to destroy the ignorance. When you start to destroy ignorance, and then you start to arise paramodal wisdom. So that's where directly you reduce greed. Indirectly, you destroy these defilements or afflictive emotions. That's where if you offering single flower, it has great benefit. And also you offer this at that time, you remember Buddha fields and mandala of Yadam deities and Bodhisattvas. In a one moment, in the one action and one focusing, you do everything together. At the same time, you do everything, every practice together. So you accumulate countless merit with one action and with one focus, within one focusing. So when we will travel, we don't want to travel far away and when in the summer or winter, or we see some beautiful colors of rainbow and beautiful things. Actually, we should offer them our Guru Vajradhara and Yadam deities. This is number one. We don't think, oh, this is a very good sign. There is something because of my practice. Actually, it happened often, but we are Mahamudra practitioners. Mahamudra practitioners have less expectations, less thoughts. Oh, this is a good sign, wonderful. This is a bad sign. This is not good. If we have too much these dualistic perceptions, that means we still bind by the thoughts. So, in the Mahamudra, best we offer to the Guru is we should offer them with devotion. Recently, briefly, we discussed about the devotion. Devotion is it's amazing, very unique foundation to receive the Guru's blessing. And Yadam deity is Siddhi. And devotion is the amazing field to grow the realizations. So we through offering we can arise our devotion. Why shall we offer these offerings to our Guru Vajradhara and Yadam deities and Buddhas? Because we are faith in them. We are trust in them. We are liking in them. So, when we see wild flowers, when we see beautiful mountain shapes, clean water, we should offer. If you don't have some other kind of precious jewels, do that. Even you fly in the sky in the airplane, you see snow mountains and some very beautiful land, forest land, and beautiful flowers and many beautiful shapes and like a mandala shape and so on. You can offer, and you drive a car, and sometimes you see many beautiful things. Even though you see beautiful town or city, they make a very nice design. You should offer them to the Buddhas and Yadam deities. Whatever you think good things, you offer them. When you offer them to the Yadam and the Buddhas, as I mentioned earlier, it will reduce egoistic mind. Egoistic mind is like a magnetism to pull all the sufferings. So, what we do not need is self-grasping. What we do need is selflessness. Because we do not need suffering and we need happiness. So we should open our flash eyes, right? Over these physical eyes. But then we follow this. Sometimes we follow wisdom eyes. If we can follow wisdom eyes, this universe is mandala for offering object. So we offer them and we accumulate great merit. When we have merit, and then we can benefit mother beings spontaneously. We can benefit all mother thinking beings. Even though harmful thinking and covetousness And these kind of negative motivations occur from grasping. So when we have a merit, and then all of these negative motivations will not arise in our mind. Sometimes we are start to arise some negative motivations in the mind. At that moment, let us know that, oh no, my merit will start to reduce. So if my merit reduce, then I cannot establish even these mundane activities. Sunam dimba may samanam jandra in Tibetan says that if you have merit, you will accomplish all your goals and wishes. So that's when in the gurus often instructed us, it's kind of a prayer before reduce the merit. May I not occur negative motivation. If that negative motivation occurs, may I not accomplish that action. So they often say that, and that is like a prayer. So we always how do we benefit others is there are many ways to benefit others. The first step is we will not harm others, and then second step is we give. Actually, we dedicate. This dedication is action of giving. What do we give? We don't have to give lots of money and some material things, but we have a great gift, which is our merit. When we give and share our merit to others, and then our merit will multiple. It will increase. This is the quality of dedication. So we need more merit. Only save this merit, keep in the mind, it will not become, more. But we have to more dedicate it, more share, give it to the our mother thinking beings. We give it through with our compassion and bodhicitta, and then we will accomplish merit and wisdom. And when we accomplish merit and wisdom, then we will attend kayas. For the sake of oneself, we will attend dharmakaya. For the sake of mother thinking beings, we will attend rupakayas. So the time is up now, and thank you so much for joining us, and please generate compassion and bodhicitta, and we will dedicate our own merit and all the 3 times and 10 directions Buddhas and Vajradhara gurus, all of the merit we will dedicate together. Chancho senjo rinpoche ma je ba naim je jur je ba nyan ba me ba yang gong ne gong de be war jo.
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.